So we have a tip for you today on how to navigate Venice. Venice is very infamous for getting lost, which is one of the wonderful things, but sometimes it's hard to find your way around because the streets are very much like a maze. So if you want to come into my Google Maps, so go into Google Maps, and of course you could use it as GPS, although the GPS sometimes is not very efficient. It's not right solid because of the buildings. Sometimes it's blocked. But you go into, see where you are, and then click on where you want to go. So let's mark St. Mark's Square. Let's go to St. Mark's Square. All right, Piazza San Marco. And then you press directions. And then under directions, you'll see that there's a choice here called Live View. So click on Live View, and then point your camera because the camera needs to recognize where you are. All right, good. And then all of a sudden you'll see arrows. So it actually takes you by the arrows. So we walk, go on the arrows, and you'll see the arrows continue. So now it says straight. And of course, one of the drawbacks of this is making sure you're holding it in front of you. And one, you're going to look a little dorky, but hey, a lot of people are doing this sort of stuff nowadays. And then of course, it even warns you, be careful not to bump into anybody, into a canal, or anything else. Now, I don't know if you heard that, but it also, if you have your volume up, it actually gives you verbal instructions too. Although it's pretty comical to hear their accent, American accent. So here you see it take right. And as soon as we go right, and you'll see the arrows get bigger as it tells you where to turn. So our next turn is left. This just basically means the next right. So we're walking straight. It sees that there's a crowd of people, so it gave me a warning. All right, so we're going to sign off pretty soon, but just so you know, some of the drawbacks of this obviously is you're going to be carrying it right in front of you. Another big drawback is it takes a lot of battery, so you want to be careful with the battery. And finally, the biggest drawback I find is one of the most fun things to do in Venice is to wander and get lost. You actually want that to happen. So don't be dependent on this. I usually only use this tool when there's a place that I'm specifically looking for and I have an appointment or I want to get there and I don't have time to get lost. But make sure you spend most of your time actually getting lost, wandering, and you'll be discovering some new piazzas, new little cool shops, and places to have a cicchetti and a glass of wine.